All right, so this is Jesse Khan, another one of our young footballers who making it big out there, actually out in Europe now. So don't want to give too much of his story. I would like him to share his story. So
Yeah,
kind of turn it over to Jesse, and Jesse, you go ahead, and I would ask questions in between if I could.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, all right. As everybody may know and who don't know, my name is Molik Jesse Khan, 20 years old. I grew up in Pleasantville on the Horseshoe, Oleander Drive. I am a brother of six siblings. I am the seventh one, and yeah, for me, it's just been football from the jump. Just playing on the Horseshoe, playing with the older guys since I was small. So at
Right.
a tender age, I had good experience playing with older guys. And then I went to school in Boys RC in San Fernando,
Yeah.
and it was football there. Then I went to W Connection under Leon St. Louis at around age 6, age 7, and I was
Hmm.
playing under 13s there. And then from there, it was national under 14, under 15. Then I made my senior club debut with W Connection when I was just turned 15, and I played like almost 90 minutes every game.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then I made my national team debut around 17 years old, and then yeah, signed for Minnesota at 17 and a half. Then I stayed there for like 3 years. I had a loan spell in Denmark for 6 months, and then now I just signed for Trenton like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
I'm in
That's
Europe.
yeah. That's big news. We saw that all over social media. Um. So that contract is to play with first team or to play with the what? How does
Yeah,
that?
no, this contract is for first team. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
and I've been training
Nice
with
man.
first team, and I'll be with first team for rest of the season. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So how has that transition across to this new team? How has that been so far?
For me, the hardest transition was me from me was going from Trinidad to Minnesota, not knowing how to keep up with a real professional setup, like strict training plans, consequences for missing trainings, and all of that. So the hard part for me was basically going from Trinidad to Minnesota. But I think my time in Minnesota and my loan spell in Denmark, now it's just like coming here is just like not just another club, but just football also. So for me, I am used to like professional setup, the trainings, the schedules.
Right.
I already have the mindset now. After 3 years with a lot of work still to be done, have a good foundation for the time that I spent in Minnesota. So for me, the
Yeah.
transition now isn't, I wouldn't say it's a hard one, but everything has its challenges.
Okay, okay.
So for me, it's not a hard transition. I've been enjoying my time here so far, and I hope it will stay like that for the rest of the year.
Okay, okay. Sounds good. Um, let's talk a little bit about the transition from Trinidad to Minnesota. Because I
hmm
know there are a lot of guys, girls home in Trinidad playing football and want to know how to make that jump. How did that connection happen for you?
Um, you mean the transfer or just how I got
Yeah,
there?
yeah. How you got
Well,
across to Minnesota?
to be honest, after my first pro league season in W Connection, there was a lot of agents hitting me up, hitting W Connection up, and so I think I started working with an agent when I was 15, 16 years old, and
Right.
then there was a lot of work being put in behind the scenes. There was a lot of distractions also with COVID and all of that. And I think just me playing, me making national team debut, just playing, being active, to be seen. And this, Minnesota reached out to me. They reached out to my agents. They saw me play. I think maybe against Bolivia when I played with the national team,
Right.
and I think that was kind of like one of the key points for me moving there. So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Was did you move across alone or family moved across with you?
Nah, I moved across alone. Each team
Oh,
that I've
okay.
been to, I just been alone, and sometimes it can be difficult to get visas. So, on my entire
Okay.
time in Minnesota, for my entire professional career abroad, I been all alone. So,
Wow.
I moved to
Okay.
Minnesota. Well, I went to Minnesota first when I was like 17, and then when I turned 18, I moved there to live permanently.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, nice. So how was it spelled from so you went Minnesota and then you did a spell in Denmark. How
Yeah,
was that? Is that a different style of football or
yeah. I would say it's a different style of football. Um, like Denmark, I think because I played in mostly well, I played in the second division, MLS Next
right?
Pro, the
Mm-hmm.
second team. I think going to the loan spell in Denmark challenged me because I was playing among small men with promotion, relegation, and things like this. More
Right.
pressure,
Yeah.
you know. I came as a foreigner, so I had to do more. So I think that spell in Denmark, it was a good one. You know, I met a lot of new people, new friends that I'm good with now, and I
Yeah.
learned a lot, a good experience from there. I played against FC Copenhagen. I had a good game against FC Copenhagen. So for
Right.
me, the loan spell was a good loan spell for me.
Okay. So that gave you basically top flight football to see what it's like in
Yes,
Denmark. Yeah.
it gave me to see, against a European opposition, and I think,
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
something that, yeah, shaped me in the right way.
And what are your expectations for this season? I know you're new into your team, but
Yeah.
what's your goals for yourself?
My self goals this year is to make double digits in goals and assists,
Right.
and to also pass my previous tally of 7 goals and assists. That was my highest,
Okay.
and just to start all the games for the season, complete 90 minutes. That's something that I have not struggled, but that is something that I struggled to do.
Mm-hmm.
90 minutes, play 90 minutes. I made maybe like 5 90 minutes in a row, but the goal this year is to play right throughout and just have the best season yet.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. So I saw the write-up for the team when they brought you in and they said ambitious attacking midfielder who's expected to score goals. So I
Yeah,
guess that kind of lines up.
yeah,
Have you ever been injured for any long period of time and how did you get over that?
yeah. Well, as I was saying, with the transition from, remember I mentioned that the transition from Trinidad to Minnesota was
Yeah.
like the real hard transition for me because um before I went to Minnesota and they signed me, well, agreed to sign me when I was like still 17, and then I had to come back home and I had to do a shin surgery on my both shins.
Oh,
I had something called compartment syndrome,
right.
and I had to do surgery on both shins. That kept me off for like not long time, but maybe like 2 months.
Yeah.
So I went to Minnesota the day after my 18th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Settled in. I was dealing with the shin for like 1 month. Then in May I started playing, and then from May till about from May I started training. Then I had to wait for my work visa.
Right.
So I had to just train, and then I played like 5 games, and then I had a hip injury, and I
Oh.
was out for like from July 2022 to like the end of January 2023.
Oh, was an
So
extended period.
and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
all of that, and then when I was home in Trinidad, I played like 90 minutes week in week out in the pro league. Was playing good at a good level, Trinidad national team, all of this, and only when I went to Minnesota and it was like a whole different demanding of the
Yeah.
body, demanding of the
Yeah.
mind, demanding of everything. So when I do this, it was, I won't say a lot for me, but the way it looked and the end result of that year was like it was basically a lot because the transition from Minnesota to Trinidad was really difficult. It's basically night and day,
Right.
because
Right.
one in Trinidad, they don't have like really proper setup where, like for example, you don't have like a proper setup that when like okay, Monday this is the schedule for the week.
Right.
So over here it's like full schedule, and to be honest, coming from Trinidad, a lot inexperienced. It was a bit hard for me, and then that caused my body to get injuries.
Right. Right.
And for me, to be honest, overcoming the injury, I was out for like what 6 7 months, maybe 8. And for me, it wasn't really nothing like, of course it's a mental battle to fight through it.
Yeah.
But I worked with a trainer in Minnesota, proper trainer for like every day for like 6 7 months. That year, I only had like 1.5 week vacation to come to Trinidad.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
was there all throughout the cool. I came like just one week before Christmas, left like the first 2 days in January. So for me, that it was tough, but the key to overcoming long term injuries like that is just knowing your circle,
Yeah,
who in your circle, and just sticking with your circle, having a good support system. All that matters, I have big family, so my family is like my support system, and
right,
I have
right.
close friends support system. Yeah, so for me, it was perfect. And then
Nice.
I just, do what I had to do to come back. And then
Mm,
I had good season 2023, scored over 5 goals, I think. Played a lot of games. I think I completed that season without any injury, any major
nice.
injury or minor injury. I think I maybe missed a couple of games when I was away with national team, but yeah, beside that, overcoming the injury was, not really. It was hard, but like I just stick to what was working,
Yeah,
which is coming in working every day, then sticking with the people that will support you and help you overcome it. And for me, that was just the key.
right, right, right. It's good, man. Um, so 2025 for the national team is a hectic year.
Yeah,
Do you have any plans, or if called upon, would you be making yourself available to be a part of the team?
yeah, of course. And now that I'm in Europe, I think it will be much easier because in America there's not that much international breaks, if any at all. So now I'm
Right.
in Europe, I'll have the international break. And yeah, once I get called, I'll always be honored to represent the country. So, from a
Nice.
young age, represent at youth levels, going to games before even representing, that's something that you always wanted to do, represent the country, play for your country. So,
Mm-hmm.
of course, anytime I get called, I will go. If I don't get called, just keep working until the call come again. And yeah, for me. So, for me, going to national team is not a question in my mind or something that I think to decline.
Right,
If
right, right.
a situation appear at the time, or if I'm dealing with a situation at the time and it's not possible, then there will be ways to deal with it. But outright answer to go into the national team will always be a yes for me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
That's good, man. That's good. I wish you all the best for
yeah.
this upcoming year. Is there, how would we as the local people looking on find these games?
Well, me, I'm still relatively new here. Well, basically
Okay,
relatively
okay.
new, just here a couple of days, so I wouldn't have the answer to that just yet. But I know through your platform and the work that you put in. I know, like, when I get it and I get access to how the games may be shown,
Yeah,
maybe I can give it to you and then you be the one to pass it on to whoever may be concerned. So whenever
yeah,
I
yeah,
get,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that sounds good. That sounds good because,
So
again, you one of the young bright prospects of the future. I remember since 15, I've been following since 15 and
hmm
hearing the words like prodigy and the young star coming up. And then,
hmm
as I say, for a while we didn't hear.
hmm
And not knowing that that was injury, I
yeah,
wasn't aware of that. But I
yeah,
really didn't hear for about for like 2 years.
yeah,
And then, well, the name now coming back up, and I guess right in time. So as you
yeah.
rightfully say, everything in
Yeah,
time, right?
it's a lot. Like, I think the easiest part is signing the first contract. The easiest part is leaving Trinidad. I think that's for me at that time. For me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but for
Yeah,
me, leaving Trinidad was the easiest part. And then from there is a lot of things behind the scene that, because me, the type of person, I'm not really big social media, posting
right,
this, that. So, and I have like small circles. So things are going on with me, not everybody will know. So
right,
for
right,
me,
right.
the easier part was leaving Trinidad, and then after that then it comes to adjusting, the fitting into different systems, working with different coaches, seeing whole management change, seeing new coaching staff, seeing not not being selected to start games, overcoming different things. Coming from Trinidad, where you know that okay, you are one of the top players, so you've surely playing, no pressure, it's something you don't have to train. So it was more demanding and there's a lot of things that the public will never see, like from a footballer's eye in the moment, day to
Yeah,
day. Like it was just not a lot, but it's just like more than just, hearing your name, or it's just like a lot of things learning. So I would
right,
say, but not hearing my thing, yeah, my name was not so much a good thing, but for me it was perfect for me to like put in the work, no distractions, no noises.
Right,
and
right, right.
just work in silence. And yeah.
Okay. So
Hmm.
I know Dennis Lawrence is across in Minnesota now.
Yeah.
Was he an influence for you at any point? 'Cause I don't know if you all would have had much time working together.
No, we didn't have much time, but um, first time I met with Dennis, I was like 14 years old, and we went to Curacao with the national under 14.
Okay, okay.
And Dennis was the US head team coach, so he came on the trip. I know we had a conversation on one night, and then when he came to Minnesota, he remembered and we spoke about it. So we were probably there for like 3 weeks. I trained with the first team
Yeah,
under him a couple times under the head coach, and yeah. So, but yeah, Dennis Lawrence, we talk. He gave me good advice. I learned a lot from him in a short time.
yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
that I look up to, national team player, ex-player. So yeah.
Nice. Well, again, all right, Jesse, thanks very much.
Hmm.
I really appreciate spending a little time together, getting some information, letting the country know with your moves and things that
Yeah.
happening now. Because somebody actually asked me to say, hey, try and reach out to Jesse, see if we could get
Yeah.
to know a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah.
So again, really appreciate this. Thanks very
For
much.
sure. For sure. All right.
Yeah, man. Enjoy your day.
All right. You too, man. Thanks.
Yeah, all right.